And
so
we're
that's
back.
the good news.
Yes.
That's all that
All
matters.
confused.
All that matters.
Yeah. Back to Florida. Let's go back to vacation.
Let's go back to Florida here.
You got some fishing. You got some baseball. You got some
Fishing.
hot dogs. Haley caught a bigger fish than you.
Catching all the big fish.
without a doubt.
And then what happened work-wise? Like, you were working while you were on vacation. I know that because we put 2 properties under contract while you were gone.
2 under contract. Got back and got another buyer under contract. So it's like literally like back. So
you mean you got
good.
This condo?
Yep. So this is Poplar. Let me look up the address so I can tell you exactly the details on it. But this property is a great condo downtown. Is it downtown Denver or just Denver? Denver proper. What would you say?
It's Denver. Yeah, it's Hampton and I-25. So
great location.
Yeah.
Secure
southern
building.
Denver.
Yeah, 2 bed, 2 bath. Really cool little sunroom off the deck there for your plants or just reading or yoga or what have you. The seller did a great job updating it recently, and we went under contract last week. Cool amenities here on top of being in a secured building for your maintenance-free living. So congratulations to our seller.
Yeah.
Nice job.
And that's not all.
That's not all.
Tell us about this one. Tell us about this one, Shannon.
I have to tell you about it. This one's in Parker.
On a golf course, I can see. Yeah.
3rd tee, wildlife in the backyard. Really, really desirable neighborhood. So if anybody that's listening knows anybody that wants to sell in the Pinery, now is probably a good time because we had multiple offers. We had showing upon showing upon showing. The showings were stacked. Sellers were like, "Can you stop the showings now? We're under contract." They were done. Got the seller a great offer so they can move on and on to better things. So really great house.
Yep.
Nicely done, beautiful. I mean, what's not to love about the Pinery? Come on, guys. I mean, geez.
It's a hot area.
It's super nice. Sign me up. I'm
down. If people do know that area really well, they know like the houses that do come on are amazing, just amazing lots. You're in the wildlife. You have all the fun stuff, the golf course. You're close to town. I mean, it has everything. It's awesome.
I think it's a half-acre lot that one sits on, too. So it's a really good size.
You can tell.
It's a good size. On top of the 2 decks, there's a hot tub, good size yard, great interior of the house for your family
this one
to grow
in particular, it has that buffer of the golf course right there to the left. So really incredible.
I bet in this summertime when that green is popping, it's popping over there. It's
sweet.
Beautiful. I'm sure.
Without a doubt. And the wildlife, just like there's pictures on the listing of that the sellers have taken that have just beautiful deer like standing over by the tee box with the sun setting over the mountains. It's just incredible.
That's awesome.
And then just a little southwest of there, we've got this beauty.
Yes, in Castle Rock. This is our colleague Jamie's listing. List price on this bad boy is going to be $535,000. Just hit the market about a week ago, maybe a week and a half. 3 beds, 2 baths. 1,359 square feet with a 2-car garage. And Brian was saying that the seller's done a lot of upgrades to the house since she's lived there. So new appliances, new plantain shutters. You can see that the flooring is great. It's very well kept, and it's a beautiful home in a great area, close to all the things that you want to do up in Castle Rock. So easy access.
Ton of pride of ownership in this house. Lots of upgrades, really, high-end upgrades as well. And it's just a beauty. This thing shows just incredible. It's a nice house in a nice neighborhood, so it won't last long. So check it out.
If you want to
Good
schedule
job,
a
Jamie.
showing, let us know. And then we've got our listing over in Aurora, in a great part of Aurora, Cherry Creek School Districts, 9992 East Idaho Circle, Unit 202, 2 beds, 2 baths, 1,024 square feet, I believe, with a parking spot outside available as well. Easy access to I-25.
Whoops,
and
that's not one.
Sorry about that. your daily commute on top of restaurants and hiking and trails and all of the things. So it's a great one. Come schedule a showing. We'd love to show it to you.
And while Brian was
and
out,
if people are
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Brian.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, my bad.
I was saying that the area around that, if you're familiar with that area, it's the old Buckingham area that's been redeveloped. Tons of restaurants, tons of shopping, close to light rail. You can get to 225, 25, and 70 all within a couple of minutes. So it's a great location, and it has there's a Costco, a Sam's Club, Home Depot, across the streets, Target. I mean, there's so many great things going on around that it's literally walking distance across the street if you wanted to.
Right. That's great.
Well, and also while you were out on your vacation, Brian, we were closing with our friends. So this is Daryl.
Oh yeah.
My man
Congratulations, Daryl.
We got him a great house.
Yep.
Got him a great deal. It was a feel-good story.
Yeah, the area he wanted to be in. He's
close
a
to work.
Yep. He used his VA benefit.
Awesome.
He was able to walk away from the closing table with cash back in his pocket, so he didn't have to bring anything to the table. We covered his closing costs with the concessions. We got his rate bought down and a killer smoking deal on.
I bet Daryl's feeling lucky about that.
Yeah.
I feel lucky for Daryl.
I will tell you guys, when the seller signed the contract, I thought it was a mistake because they told me that they weren't signing the contract. They sent me a counter. We said, nope, that doesn't work for us. And, the terms, the payment was too much. And then at about 9:30 that night, when we went under contract, the seller signed, and I didn't know what to do. I thought it was a joke. I mean, literally, because it's 9:30 at night. I can't text the listing agent. Yeah. I couldn't tell the buyer at 9:30. I can't tell if we're under contract or not because they told me they got another offer. I thought that maybe they signed the wrong one. That's why when we review contracts with our sellers, we'll send it to them on a PDF form until we decide if we're going to counter or if they're going to sign that or whatever. And then at 8:00 the next morning, I got the email saying, congratulations, you're under contract. And I was like, oh, now I've got to tell my buyer, like, they accepted this crazy offer that we wrote.
You mentioned earlier who you work with matters. Are you lucky enough to work with the people that are going to take care of you? You guys saved him a ton of money off of the list price. You got him extra money down for the concession.
Absolutely.
And he got money back utilizing his VA benefit, where there are agents out there and they just say, oh, no one wants to deal with the VA benefits. Come our way. We love the VA benefits. So absolutely, let's take care of them.
And we're well versed in every aspect of those type of transactions. So we can absolutely help you out with that. And
we have great lender,
our honor to help you.
Great lender partners that know what they're doing and how to explain it and how to help walk you through all of that. And it's a benefit that you've discerned and you earned it. So
well, and you are lucky to work with such a caring group of individuals who really do, give you that next level service, and they do care, and that shows in every way, and that's a fact. Anyone that works with Shannon, they know that about her. So she really does care.
Somebody called me a South Pole elf though the other day. That wasn't very nice.
Who is that?
You. I was like, I don't think that means. I don't think that means what you think it means.
I think I actually called Aramy a South Pole elf.
You said elves in the text message.
I think you got thrown into it, and you're not the nice, friendly North Pole elves.
Yeah,
you two are sometimes the not so nice South Pole elves.
How was Shaniqua the other day? She said that she was bringing Shaniqua out. I was like, ooh, I might have to pop up there to go see what's going on.
I'm just gonna throw it out there, Brian. You see a little bit, but not like me, my man. I'm just saying. There's some things that I see, that.
What are you talking about?
So
it's rough.
So Aramy couldn't be mean because Aram, her grandson, was there with Sid, and the most adorable baby in the entire world.
So stinking.
So, oh my, so well. Like just his demeanor, his he just giggles and plays around.
Aw,
We were walking around the house for like an hour and a half, and I was just like swinging him around. And he's just giggling and having a great time. So it
happy.
was awesome.
That's
So
great.
she couldn't be mean to me. I was holding her grandson.
Oh, so you had firepower between you. You were trying to block.
Yeah,
Uh,
my protective shield.
there you go.
So
Yep.
That's
yeah,
fun.
so
Well,
yeah,
nice job with that. Yeah, with that, we have some
yeah,
good listings coming up, some great listings in great areas.
We got a lot
So
going
yeah,
on.
we've got
yeah,
a lot of really good stuff going on. But if you're watching the news right now or talking to people, you might think the sky is falling a little bit. So we wanted to
yeah,
address that and talk about what, obviously we're still selling real estate. People are still buying
yeah,
and selling. You have to adhere to your broker's advice. That usually helps too. Pricing the property
without a doubt.
accordingly, and obviously we have strategies and marketing techniques that coincide with all of that. So it's a whole thing. But I know that the news is kind of spinning things off in a little different direction right now, where a lot of people are very concerned about their money in banks and as
Yeah,
if it's safe. And what does all of that mean when all of a sudden a bank collapsed over the weekend? The Silicon Valley Bank. What
yeah,
does that mean for us?
yeah. I mean, if you didn't follow the headlines, here's the quick and dirty of it. The bank was a venture capitalist bank. They did a lot of startups. They did a lot of cryptocurrency. They knew that they were in trouble a while back. Some of these startups weren't making it. Some of these venture capitalists who were investing in additional startups and other things weren't making it, and they knew that these weren't going to make it. And then you saw, a couple months ago with what happened with cryptocurrency, where you saw, basically $1 billion come off the books overnight because, basically insider trading or taking money out of the bank for his own personal use and donating it to different politicians. But that's really what happened. They're not a typical bank. If you don't follow Dave Ramsey, he just did a whole presentation on this on his podcast, but he does like snippets on Instagram, and you can see it on Twitter and other things. But he really breaks it down and talks about specifically, like, this is not what a typical bank does. This isn't how it's operated. This isn't what the FDIC is designed to ensure. This isn't what a typical American or anyone that has money in an American bank. Most people don't have $580 million sitting in the bank. That's money being used for a venture capitalist group. But your money is safe. It's insured. They're basically solvent. They can take care of all those pieces. The part that you saw was interest rates. With that happening, interest rates came back down a little bit. So interest rates pulled back a little bit, and interest rates went down to about 6.5% in the last couple days, right after that announcement. And Chris and I were talking about this with interest rates being at 6.5%. The National Association of Realtors just announced that rental rates have gone up 8%. So, people are worried about their bank. They're worried about renting. They're worried about all these pieces, but look at them in their own way. The banks that those we're dealing with are not the same banks as what you normally would typically bank at. Your rent, if you're paying rent right now, it's gone up 8%. If you're looking to buy a house at 6.5% interest, you would still be paying less than what your rent would be going up every year. And that's a year-over-year percentage of 8% from last year. So,
and you're paying on your own equity, so you're paying
yeah,
down your own
you're paying it
property.
down.
You're
Yeah,
building your wealth.
yeah,
I mean, it's
yep,
if you can buy, now is the time to buy. Just like any,
yeah,
we haven't seen anything that is, making me say, hey, you should maybe wait out the storm. And I think that if
no,
you're qualified and you have the means to buy, it is clearly the obvious choice as opposed to renting.
right,
And I know that with some younger folks, we have this conversation and they don't really know what to do with their money. If you can buy, if you are, you have the means and it fits your financial situation, yeah, do it. Absolutely. I mean,
yeah,
we have, we've got people like our girl Sarah here who she does a whole course. She did a whole course on how to hack your house and turn it into, you know, income. So her house makes money even if she's in Jamaica. You know, I mean, this girl's got it figured out, and she did a whole workshop. We've got that available, right? Like, you guys can check that out through our.
Yep, it's a little longer than our normal shows.
Yeah,
but
it's about 2
you
hours.
can fast forward or
I
cruise through it. Is fast forwarding even the right thing to say these days?
It's probably not okay to say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Because I remember the days
Scroll.
of Blockbuster where you had to like rewind the tape before you returned it.
Rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind.
You could fast forward through the credits or, you know,
we're so old. That's what
we are so old.
Seriously. Like, not really though. Just kidding. But young people, we can help you. You should buy. If you know, old people, anybody, all people, if you're qualified, if you want to, you know, diversify, now's the time. You know, there couldn't be a better time. Look at the deals we're getting for our buyers. I mean, you know, before people were going out and they're defeated, you know, that we'd look at 12 properties in one day and not one of them we could even get. And we had to do that several times before we found the house for our people. And we did that. And now I'm telling you that if you're a buyer, this is your time to shine. Like, the interest rates, they are what they are. They will be what they will be. We probably will never see them go as low as they may have been. But 6.5 isn't bad. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting a little worked up here. Sorry.
And you can always refinance.
You can always refinance. What do we say? You date the rate, but you marry the house. So.
So
that's what's
the people out there shouldn't get overwhelmed with all the stuff that's happening in the news. You know, look to the experts. You know, I'm not declaring myself as an expert on, you know, finance or any of those other things, but you know, if you look at Dave Ramsey, you look at Bigger Pockets, you look at some of those other podcasts that really do break this stuff down, you'll start seeing that there's good understanding of what's happening, and the media loves the headlines, but you know, it's just headlines. So
it's just headlines.
You can skin a cat however many different ways. Like, that's.
I don't know about that one.
What's the term that? What is that? I'm
that's
out of
let's
it
just
today.
leave that one there.
What is it? How you can like do something however many, you can say it in a certain way. And what is it?
Yep.
How many?
Tomato.
Tomato.
Sure. Tomato.
Potato.
That's
there
fair.
is a saying
There
like
you go.
that. Just so y'all know.
No, there is.
And on top of that, we did get our grocery bags. Did you see those? I didn't put them in our assets.
I wanted to go back before we talk about skinning cats and grocery bags. I want to say one thing though, Brian. I appreciate your humbleness when you're saying you don't declare yourself an expert. However, there are many fields where you are an expert, and one of those is if I were to choose you as my realtor, I would choose you because you're an expert in your field, and that is why, you know, that goes back to what Shannon was saying. If you hired us, then you should potentially, like, you believe in our research and our knowledge of the market and our experience,
expertise,
and so potentially
trust.
Trust.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you trust us, and you know, it's not luck, you know, when it comes to that. Like, you're lucky to have such a good agent, but you know,
it might,
it's a combination of things. Could be, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It's true. Like, I'm not a subject matter expert in finance, but in houses, I mean, I would say all of us, that's what we strive to be. We want to know everything about the market. We want it, like, all those pieces, and we want to do what's best for our client. We want to make sure that you are happy. I mean, we want raving fans. That's what we shoot for.
In a world full of, you know, big name brokerages at the touch of a button that anybody can get to.
Right.
I would prefer to have a real person with real world experience, real world, you know-how, proven track record, be my expert, you know, in that field for sure. And you need it. No doubt about it. You need it.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah. Well,
there's only one way to skin a cat with that.
I thought there was a saying about that.
I'm sure our fans today? I'm sure our fans will give us the answer.
Yeah, PETA is going to be all over us about skinning
cats.
cats.
I'm sorry, PETA. I didn't mean it.
Sorry, PETA.
I was just saying that you can spin a story 10 different ways.
There you go. I like that.
You know,
like
somebody's perspective.
Don't
that's why
hashtag
text.
PETA.
Yeah, that's why text
Colorado
tonality.
Native Realty does not condone skinning cats.
That's why text tonality can go the wrong way when you're talking to someone in a conversation.
That is a good point.
On a text message, sometimes you have to have a phone call. How many times have we had to like call our clients and say, okay, now we got to talk about this, because you might not understand what I've got to say to you via text message, and it could go the wrong way. So we, take the time and duty of care to like make sure we're doing that.
Anyone that has done a transaction with Shannon knows that she truly does.
You're going to talk to me.
She does care about every aspect and every level of the entire transaction, 100%. And she is going to do her best fiduciary responsibility with your money and make sure that you get the best result.
I even had to do that in our text message thread the other day with our friends. I was like, what Brian meant to say was, I had to speak Brian to the text message.
I said exactly.
I said that. Exactly. I'm like, you didn't say it the way they needed to hear it, sir. That's not what you said. I had to like interpret. I had to be the interpreter.
But we are very lucky to do this. This career that we love. I mean, we help people every day, and I'm certainly blessed to work with such a great group of people, and we are certainly blessed to for the connections we make and the colleagues that we have, and the clients and friends that we share. So. We're lucky for you. So thank you very much.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I don't think I could end it on a nicer note than that. So.
Oh. You're just going to end it?
There you go.
Just going to end it. All right.
Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Tuning in.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great weekend.